talking about, if there's problems on the feet, you're going to resort to wrestling. You're going to be shooting for takedowns, all throughout the fight. I'm just curious, like, you've dealt with so much doubt and people overlooking you throughout your career. How do you just block all that out and try to prove him and everyone else wrong?
I think just being confident in myself and, my coaches and my teammates and all that. He can think what he wants and say what he wants, but I know what I'm going to bring to the table, and I know what I'm going to go out there and do. So, it's going to play out Friday, and he'll get to see it.
To that point, you're coming in this fight, their Bellator ranking system is involved, and I think it's a question a lot of fighters are being asked here in Bellator. How do you feel about the ranking system, and how do you feel it establishes you inside the division?
I think the ranking system's good. I think it's an important part of the promotion. I think they'll sort themselves out, in the next year. And I think as guys, the more fights that happen, the more they'll start to sort themselves out. And of course, you can move guys up and down and do whatever. But it's a good baseline to start at. And I think it's important. I think it's good.
Santiago.
Hi, Austin. Greetings from Amsterdam, and thank you for the time.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
ATT is making big time noise in Bellator. I mean, Roman Faraldo and Johnny Eblen had spectacular first round KO wins. Also, Cody Law, Dalton Rasta have already picked up wins in 2021. Can you feel this in the gym as well, Austin? That the confidence level is extremely high and that everybody is working hard towards winning fights?
Yeah, but I don't think there's any focus on. I think everyone just, is preparing for fights and knows what they have to go out and do. And I think we just have a really good group of guys. And, talking to Dan Lambert, he thinks this is like the most talented team that they've ever had there at ATT. And so it feels special to be a part of it. And, I think we have a lot of good guys coming up, a lot of good training partners. The coaches are all amazing. And I think we just kind of feed off of each other in the training.
Scott Coker hinted that a fight between champion Gegard Mousasi and John Salter could very likely be next for the title somewhere in July. How do you think that fight would play out?
I think that's a great fight, and I got a lot of respect for both the guys. It's tough to say, man. Gegard is definitely one of the most talented fighter, one of the best MMA fighters of all time, but I think Salter's a dog as well. So it's gonna be a good fight. And I think they both bring good skill sets to the table.
Jim
Barcelona, Miami Herald. Curious for the training for this one. How did it go for you? And did you bring anyone different in for sparring purposes or anything like that?
The training was good, and no one different. I mean, American Top Team, you got about every single body style and fighting style you could imagine being there. So a lot of guys coming in and out and whatnot. So I feel like I was well prepared and I had the right training partners for the fight.
And Austin, South Florida itself, there's so many good fighters and trainers down here. Was that too a big part of the reason to come down this way?
Oh yeah, I mean, American Top Team was the number one reason to move to South Florida. So just being a part of the team, the coaches, and all that, number one reason.
And lastly, who will be in your corner for this fight?
My wife Paige, my coach Bahumpa, and my other coach Anderson.
All right, Mason.
Hi Austin, this is Mason from the Sports podcast. How you doing, man?
Doing good, thank you.
Good stuff, man. I just want to ask you two things. What are your thoughts on Fabian as an opponent?
I think he's a well-respected opponent. I think he brings a strong skill set to the table, and someone that I have to be on my A game to go out there and beat.
I asked a similar question to Fabian before, so I'll switch it round for you. Obviously, a lot of the casuals online know you as Mr. VanZant per se, as they know Fabian is Leon's brother. But what do you say to those casuals that characterize you as Mr. VanZant and not Austin Vanderford?
I think it's just something that'll stick with me for my whole career, and it's something that I don't really I play into. I think it's funny. I think it's fun, and it just adds a different character into what we're trying. We're entertainers and going out there trying to to get people excited about fights and, you know, and finding unique ways to do it. And I think being Mr. VanZant is just one of them for me.
Harry?
Hey, Austin. Harry back from the Bookie's basement. I hope you're doing well.
Thank you.
So, somebody touched on it a little bit earlier, but so are you going into this fight kind of viewing it as a title eliminator?
I think it puts me in the mix for sure, but you know, I as it was alluded to earlier, Salter and Mousasi are gonna fight, you know, and then Tokov's up there as well. So, you know, I think there's Costello Vancinas is another really tough one that's right in there and all that. So I think it puts me in the mix for sure. And but I've said in past interviews, you know, I want to make sure that I go out and earn it. And you know, the first part of that's going out and performing on Friday and making a statement Friday.
Michael?
Hey, Austin, how are you?
Doing good, thank you.
Perfect, man. I wanted to ask, what, you know, you are 10-0 so far in your MMA career. How important for you is to maintain this undefeated record?
I think the most important thing for me is just one fight at a time, and I view each opponent for me as my toughest opponent to date. So, you know, that's how I see this fight, and that's how I see Fabian, and that's how I see everything just to get to 11-0. So, I don't think any pressure on keeping the undefeated record. I think more than anything, it's just going out and making sure that I compete the best of my ability that night and going out and getting the win.
And my last question, at the end of your career, when you look back, what do you want your legacy as an MMA fighter to be?
I want people to look back and think, damn, Paige VanZant husband really was a badass. He wasn't quite the chump we thought he was.
All right, a couple more here. Dylan?
Hey there, Austin. Appreciate you making some time.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm just noticing the hair dyed a little bit there. Like, you going for a bit of a different vibe for this fight here, tapping into a different kind of energy for fight week?
I don't really think I kind of see myself as a stylish guy, and so you know, I've joked around too. I thought it'd be cool to get out there and make the hair red for the fight. So if you know what I mean, you know, go slice them up a little bit and get some red in the hair. So that'd be a cool look.
Yeah, dig it, man, and appreciate you making some time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Tony?
Hi, Austin. Hope you're well.
Thank you very much.
I just wanted to get your thoughts and not overlooking Fabian at all, but you know, when you started in this journey, turning pro in 2017, did you envisage yourself being potentially in the title picture for a world title so soon into your career, having, you know, 10 or so fights under your belt?
Yeah, you know, I think when I started this, my aspiration is always just to be a world champion, and you know, whatever way it took to get there, and however soon it took. I've had a lot of people around me who've always really believed in me, and I believe in myself and all that. So I don't think it's quite a surprise, but you know, it feels surreal at times to, especially, you know, I'm ranked number 3 for the middleweight weight class in Bellator, you know, the best promotion in the world, and I feel good, man. I think it's kind of more of a surreal feeling, and I'm excited just to go out and improve that and improve my ranking and you know, and go out and earn a title shot.
All right. Appreciate the time, Austin. Good luck on Friday.
Yeah.